Good morning, everyone. This is Prem Kumar once again from AmazinSellers. Last time we saw a little about crowdfunding, and today we have Zamir Kaji, who has used Seeders, the equity crowdfunding platform, in 2013 to bootstrap his business, and it was very successful for him. We are going to ask him what his experience is with crowdfunding, and also a little bit about Amazon Launchpad and whether it really helps people to start up their business. Let's see. Hey Zamir, thanks for joining in. We are going to ask you a little question about crowdfunding. You have used Seeders in the past, I know that, in 2013. Can you share what your experience is with that crowdfunding platform and how did it help your business to bootstrap and grow?
The few things I would say is before going for it, you need to make sure that you have an investable business. And that's very different to having a business and a business plan. That you can have a business that's a very successful business, but is not investable. The definition of an investable business is that you've got an exit strategy, and then what an investor is going to ask is, all right, if I'm putting my money in today at this value, I want to see your plan to turn that into a 10 times or 20 times, 20x value in 3 to 5 years. So your business has to be able to achieve that, and you have to be able to show a clear plan on it. Also, you have to be prepared to answer those questions, some really challenging questions about your business. So you're going to need to know your business, your market, your competitors, and you're going to be able to have to very clearly show your plan, your vision, and be able to convince those investors that you're going to be able to deliver on this over a 3 to 5 year period, and very much with a focus on exit. So where this is very different to, say, going for a loan application where you do a business plan and maybe show like a 20 to 40% profit margin, what you're talking about with an investable business is where you're showing, actually, I've got a plan in 3 to 5 years to exit and sell it for 10 times the value I'm valuing it at today. So that's the first point I'd say. The second point is it's a lot of effort. There's a lot of work that goes into it. You have to talk to a lot of investors. You have to provide a deck, probably videos. You have to prepare a lot of collateral that goes alongside your business to demonstrate and explain and give examples of what it is and pitch, so people can actually picture and feel it. That takes a lot of your time. So I had to go and do a lot of speeches and talks and pitches. So that takes a lot of time, a lot of paperwork, a lot of due diligence goes in behind. You have to provide a lot of information about your business, the ownership and everything. So be prepared for some really tough questions, have all your paperwork ready. It's going to take a lot more time than you expect. It's going to take a lot more of your time than you expect. But also partner with a good funding partner that'll be able to guide you through all of that and help you with all the paperwork and so forth. But once you get there and to the other end of it, it doesn't end. Then you've also got to take the responsibility. So you've then got to be responsible to grow the business, using that, achieve the targets you're aiming for, and to respond to your investors regularly, answer their questions. So there are two key advantages, I would say, from going for seed funding, capital seed funding. The first one is obviously you get the money that helps you grow the business. And the second one is you get these brand ambassadors, these people that believe in the business, the investors. And so hopefully you've got a large quantity of those people as well, and they're going to be able to help you out a lot. They're going to go and buy your products, they're going to tell people about it, they're going to advertise it for you and promote it for you, do reviews for you, all of these sorts of things. So it definitely has a lot of positives, but not every business is investable, as I say, and don't underestimate how much of your time and effort it's going to take to actually get there. So I think for us, start to finish, so launch until we actually closed our raise, was probably a 6-month period. And during that period, I'd say 70% of my time was focused on the raise rather than on the rest of my business.
Samir, I know that Amazon Launchpad is not quite a crowdfunding platform, but it is being seen as a parallel platform for crowdfunding platforms. What is your experience so far with Amazon Launchpad? You have used them in the past as well, so can you share what your experience is with that?
So I think if you're a beginner, then Launchpad is essentially an account management system. So that's where Amazon help you set up your listings. They teach you about Amazon, teach you on the advertising. They generally get you promotions or access to promotions you wouldn't necessarily normally have access to as a startup. You'll get special listings of maybe with video content and things like that in it. And they'll get you PR coverage, so you'll get some press coverage hopefully out of it as well. So it can be really positive from that side. And it's really good having, when you're starting out on Amazon, having someone that you can ask questions of, and if you have problems, they can help you problem solve them. It's not a magic wand. They can't just make everything happen. For us, at the time that we were doing it, it was just after our raise. We were already turning over £1 million. So it was actually quite an expensive solution for us and probably not the best fit at the time that we went for it. So, you pay 5% of your revenue to go onto the Launchpad program, and so immediately 5% plus VAT. So of the inclusive of VAT selling price. So actually, it's 6%. Where we were at £1 million turnover, that's £60,000 that we started paying out immediately, and in return, we already probably had a really good understanding of how everything worked, and so we didn't get as much out of it as I'd hoped. But if you're in a startup business without much experience on Amazon, it can be a really positive way to help get you started on Amazon. So that whole term of Launchpad is really getting you launched on Amazon. So it's not crowdfunding at all. But at the time, you had to be a crowdfunded business to be able to get onto Amazon. I know the requirements have changed slightly now. Okay. But if you're just starting out for the first time on Amazon, definitely look at Launchpad.
Given a chance, would you use the platforms like Kickstarter and Indiegogo?
I suppose it really depends on what the product is and how I want to take it to market, and also what my access is to other funding. I think one of the key advantages of Kickstarter and so forth is that you get the opportunity to tell people about your product. And so you're starting your marketing at a very early stage. Equally, you're telling people before you've actually created the product, which gets it out there, and so someone else could obviously come and take your idea somewhat. So there are both advantages and disadvantages. I suppose it depends how patentable the idea is, how much protection you have over it. If it's a really good idea and you're letting it out there, then you've possibly given a competitor that has the funding already secured an opportunity to steal a march on you, potentially. But if it's your only opportunity for funding, take the risk anyway. Otherwise, it's just going to sit in a drawer. Someone else is going to come up with the idea anyway. So just get on with it as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Zamir, for that very insightful comments on the crowdfunding platforms. Many thanks for that. And we have a webinar on 20th May, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. with Jess Bailey from Crowdfund 360. Everyone who's watching the video, please join in. It's going to be a wonderful talk from Jess Bailey.
As well, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be online, not talking, obviously. I'm going to be there listening and learning.
Thank you so much, and see you around next time.